crimson and gold, and now part of a unique brotherhood that spans 6 decades. Our person here has played 4 years at Flagler, and during the weekend he practiced 53 with 111 hits and 22 stolen bases. He was the first team All-PCC selection in Kentucky. His twin brother Jeffrey is the number 6. Ladies and gentlemen, from Augusta, Florida, number 1, Donovan Garcia. Donovan is the son of Moises and Kim Garcia. Also played all 4 years. He has 26 career hits, 29 runs scored, 10 stolen bases. Twin brother Donovan is the keeper. Ladies and gentlemen from Augusta, Florida, number 2, Jeffrey Garcia. Jeffrey is the son of Moises and Kim Garcia. This season has worn the crimson and gold for 5 seasons. And when he was released, he had 671 batting, 167 hits. He was technically an all-PCC honor for his top 10. He was a 2-time PCC Presidential Honor Roll Scholar. Ladies and gentlemen from Kingwood, Texas, number 3, Matthew Burke. Matthew is the son of Ryan and Lindsay. Transferred to Flagler from Milwaukee Area Technical College. He converted from an infielder to a pitcher. 3 seasons on the hill is 32 with a 3.12 home run average, 2.10. He earned PCC Presidential Honor Roll Scholar accolade last year. Ladies and gentlemen from Gurnee, Illinois, number 10, Brad Van Brista. Brad is the son of Joe and Allison Van Brista. Senior transfer from Junior College Colorado to Fulton College in Marianna, Florida. He will be across the diamond for third base this year. He ended this weekend with a 66 career batting average with 89 hits. He has done an excellent job this season manning the outfield. Ladies and gentlemen from West Palm Beach, Florida, number 15, Taylor Clapp. Taylor is the son of Brian Clapp and Gina Summers. He is the son of stepson Craig Zelinsky. He is great grandfather to Rita. This senior is in his 4th year of program. He's been making with a 288 batting average. He's a 3-time PCC Presidential Honor Roll Gold Scholar and a 2-time recipient of the D288 Award. Ladies and gentlemen from Fort Myers, Florida, number 18, Zach Thomas. Zach is the son of Randall and Allison Thomas. This is going to play 3 years for the Saints. He's made 21 career appearances and has a 2-2 record with 2 seasons. Ladies and gentlemen from Ann Arbor, Massachusetts, number 24, Anthony Nolte. Anthony is the son of Anthony and Donna Nolte. Senior transfer from Johnson County Community College, Overland Park, Kansas. Last year he was the PBC Presidential Honor Silver Scholar from the PBC ADA Award recipient. Ladies and gentlemen from Kansas City, Missouri, number 25, Jackson Wentworth. Jackson is the son of that rancher and Brooke Wentworth. You guys just shut up and let me talk. This senior transfer from Flagler from Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. He entered the weekend with a 244 career batting average, 71 hits and 15 doubles. Ladies and gentlemen, from Locust Grove, Georgia, number 30, Luke Lover. Luke is the son of Terry and Terry Lover. He's joined by his grandmother, Jerry Lyons. Final senior transfer to Flagler from Prince George's Community College in Largo, Maryland. He entered the weekend with a 313 career batting average, 168 hits, 122 runs. He ranks third all-time at Flagler in stolen bases with 74. And he is this year's team MVP. Ladies and gentlemen from Lakewood, Florida, number 7, Trey Newland. Trey is the son of Richard and Jenny Newland. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a nice round of applause for the Flagler College Baseball class of 2024. Good luck to all of you in your future endeavors. I did that. Yeah.
11. Check. Check. Check one. There it is. Check 1, 2. Check. Check. Check 1, 2. Check. 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 Okay. Check. Check 1, 2. Check 1, 2. Check 3, 4. Check. Check. Check 1, 2, check. It's senior day and also the last regular season game for Flagler baseball. The Saints are riding a 3-game win streak at just the right time as they look to send the seniors out in style. Saints baseball starts now. Hi everyone, thanks for joining us here on the Peach Belt Conference Network along with our producer Sammy Jennison and our sports information director John Jordan. I'm Dave Wenda. 10 seniors playing their last regular season game. The Saints have qualified for the Peach Belt Conference tournament. They're safely in. So there will be postseason baseball for this group, but unlikely to see another game here at Drysdale Field unless things bounce a certain way at the two conference tournament sites. The Saints would have to win their mini tournament and then be the higher seed, and a lower seed would have to win the other site for the Saints to host a Peach Belt Conference game. So if you're in the area and you're a Saints fan and you want to see likely the last game of the regular season, come on down. We're just getting started here at Drysdale Field. Oh, the Saints wearing their dark tops over the white pants today. Beautiful day for baseball. Windy, the wind gusting in from center field, and that should be a help to the pitchers. Temperatures in the high 70s. It's really been gorgeous weather here in St. Augustine this week. In fact, we've had quite the comfortable winter, and spring hasn't gotten unseasonably hot yet. I'm sure that will come. And let's get started. Cody Ayala leads things off for the Jaguars of Augusta University. And the first pitch is a ball from Benjamin Stubbs. Saints starter having an outstanding season. He's 3-2 on the year with a 2.90 earned run average. He's logged 40 in the third innings, given up 34 hits, 18 runs, just 13 of them earned. 24 walks against 45 strikeouts, so big-time strikeout numbers, 45 Ks in just 40 in the third innings of work for Stubbs. The count is 1-2 on Ayala. Swing and a miss and a good start for the big lefty. So that brings up the center fielder, Harrison Alds. Stubbs pumps in a strike. Alds hitting .327 on the year. Couple of long balls, 25 runs batted in. And he's in an 0-2 hole. Stays alive as he spoils that pitch. Defensively for the Saints across the outfield left to right, it's Trey Newland, Bryce Fitzgerald, and Donovan Garcia. Taylor Claps at third base. Mason Gray playing shortstop. Zach Thomas manning the keystone. At first base, it's Matthew Burke, and Jackson Wentworth is behind the plate. Fly ball right to Fitzgerald in center field, and there are two gone. Here's Kyle Lodice, the shortstop. Lodi's a .374 hitter. 300 hitters sprinkled all up and down the lineup. For 6 hitters in this order, all hitting north of 300. The 0-1, nice breaking pitch from Stubbs. Fly ball to Newland and left, and the wind's going to keep this one playable. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Jaguars in the first. back. Bottom of the first, Trey Newland, one of the seniors honored before the game, leads things off. Trey having a fantastic season. First pitch swinging, line drive, base hit. And Newland, of course, a threat to steal. Newland ranks third all-time at Flagler with 74 stolen bases. He has been named this year's team MVP. And remember, he transferred in from Prince George's Community College, so did not play a full 4 seasons for the Saints. And yet third in all-time stolen bases. And certainly the Jaguars are aware of that. And their starting pitcher, Mason Bernard, has checked on him a couple times now. Batter's Mason Gray. Fouled off. A 1-1. Sliced fair. Oh no. Excuse me. Foul. Wishful thinking by the first base coach for the Saints. But home plate umpire Pat Russo calls it a foul ball, and Dave Barnett would like to have a word. Russo behind the plate, Nick Meyer at first. Christopher Pittman is the third base ump. And fouled off. Good at bat for Mason Gray. One-two pitch. Misses low. And a base hit in the center will send Newland. Throw is cut off, and the Saints with an early lead on the RBI single from Mason Gray. I'm going to change something here. I think this is set up wrong. I think that's why we're getting...
Now I'll tell you nothing. Oh, there we go.
Much better.
So here's Taylor Clout. Third baseman, another of the seniors. Sure, Dave Barnett feels fortunate to have this group as his final group of seniors. And they've given him a good season and yet another base hit. So 3 singles to start the game for the Saints. a meeting at the mound. And I'm assuming this is Chris Howell. His number isn't listed on their roster, but Howell is the head coach in his 8th season of the Jaguars and going out and trying to settle down his hurler, Bernard. So just a short meeting. The batter's Luke Wellborn, DH. Joe's bunt gets it down. It's a good one. Only play is to first as Wellborn perfectly executes the sac bunt. And Gray and Clapp move up 90 feet apiece. So here's Donovan Garcia. Honored with his twin brother Griffin in senior day festivities before the game. I'm not sure if you can see from our camera shot, but they've got the bunting out here at Drysdale Field. Garcia hitting .233 on the year. He's driven in 13. A couple of chances for him to add to that total right here. Takes the breaking pitch for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Another good pitch from Bernard. Garcia strikes out. And there are 2 gone. Here's Matthew Burke, the first baseman. Still feels kind of strange to call him that. He's played a lot of first this year, but his first 3 years in the program played predominantly second base and is as sure-handed as it gets there at second. And a base hit back up the middle. It's going to score at least 1 run. They're going to send the other runner, and there will not be a throw as Flagler leads it 3-0. So here's Bryce Fitzgerald, the 7-hitter. Fitzgerald in his usual center field spot today, batting .247. He has a couple of dingers and 20 RBIs. Blocked by LaRoche. Four hits in the inning so far, all singles, 3 runs in. Now 3-0 to Fitzgerald. Now, 4-pitch walk. That brings up Zach Thomas, the second baseman. Thomas hitting 188. He has not driven in a run yet. Off-speed pitch, in for a strike. Ground ball back up the middle. They'll send the runner. Throw to third is not in time, and it's 4-0 Saints. Well, the senior day send-off couldn't start any better for Flagler. Jackson Wentworth, the 9th man to bat in the inning. Catcher for Flagler. And another base hit. Another run scored. Make it 5-zip. Well, the Saints have batted around. And Trey Newland comes back to the plate. He started things off with a single. Stole second, came around to score on the Mason Gray RBI. Bernard's already thrown 23 pitches in the inning. And a flare into right. And that'll do it. But what a start for Flagler. 5 runs on 6 hits in the first. And welcome back. Top of the second, Flagler leading 5-0. Here's Kyle LaRoche, the cleanup batter and catcher for the Jaguars. Again, another of those guys up over 300, 347. Here's the 1-2. Grounded foul. Two balls and two strikes is the count. As mentioned, Flagler riding a 3-game win streak, trying to close it out. The regular season on this hot streak as they head into postseason play. And wouldn't it be fitting if they went on a nice run in the Peach Belt Conference Tournament, playing their best baseball of the season? Fouled back. LaRoche battling. Popped up in the foul territory and drifts out of play. Wind has eased off a little bit. Still blowing in from center field, but not as briskly. Well, essentially an east wind blowing in from the ocean. 3-2. Ground ball. Mason Gray charges it. And there's one gone here in the second. Here's Mike Morrison, the DH. Morrison, a 364 hitter. In limited appearances, just 55 at-bats on the season. He's driven in 7. And he's gone on 3 pitches. Here's Brady Lowren, the right fielder. Lowren batting .328 coming in. Couple of homers, 39 runs batted in. Two and two is the count. Ground ball through the hole. First hit of the game for the Jaguars.
First baseman, number 11, Jordan Wilkie.
Oh, the number 9 hitter, Sean.
Jordan Wilkie is the batter. Toss to second. And Flagler gets out of it. A hit for the Jaguars. Nothing more. Still 5-0 Flagler. And welcome back. There's Mason Gray. And fouls one off. And second hit of the game for Mason. Right fielder looked at first base, but you're not going to catch Mason Gray even on a sharp liner to right from the outfield. So 7 hits now for Flagler. And here's Taylor Clapp, who has one of them. Big cut and a miss. Popped up into right center. Olds makes the catch. There's Luke Wellborn. Laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt in the first inning. Part of that 5-run rally. Okay. Runner goes. Gray is out. Nice throw from LaRoche, right on the money. Lodiz applies the tag. One to knows the count on the batter. Fly ball into right. Lowren makes the catch, and that does it. Saints pick up a hit, but no more runs. They lead at 5-0. Here's Nolan Turner leading things off in the third. Ground ball off the glove of Clapp. It'll go down as an error, tough luck error on Clapp. That was a hard ball to handle. But one he probably should have, and one that he probably would agree he should have. He's so good defensively at third. Clapp has really settled in there as a defensive stalwart. Here's Jake Vachon. Stubbs working quickly.
God bless him.
Ground ball to Gray. Flip to second for one. On to first. A double play. And did that touch Stubbs' glove on the way by? Is that a 1-6-4-3?
I didn't see that. Did enough. I think it just started at an 8.
So now two gone. Back to the top of the order in Ayala. Little roller. Foul on the third base side. Ayala struck out his first time. Fly ball, short right. Oh, little miscommunication, but Fitzgerald comes up with the catch. And the Saints are out of it, still leading at 5-0.
Before I got here, after the last game ended, and then our guy had a dish called Irish.
Bottom of the third.
Yeah.
Donovan Garcia leads things off for the Saints. He struck out his first time. Saints have already put 7 hits on the board, 5 runs. All the runs coming in the first inning. And not an extra base hit to show for it, but just solid hitting all the way around. And the nice sacrifice as well by Wellborn, I think, was a key to keeping that inning, or keeping the momentum of the inning going. Shot foul. Garcia, you may remember back in his true freshman year, was a first-team all-conference selection. His career has been slowed a bit by injuries. He's bounced around the diamond, very versatile, plays a lot of short, played some right. Ground ball to short, and he's 0 for 2 today. Here's Matthew Burke, drove in a couple of runs with a single in the first. Burke was second-team all-conference as a sophomore. Also a two-time PBC Presidential Honor Roll Scholar. Career 271 hitter with 167 hits for the Saints. And a timeout. Interesting to have a meeting at the mound here with, it isn't an injury perhaps. It looks like Bernard is dealing with some kind of issue. Chance to thank some of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics while they attend to Bernard. 93 King, alumni-owned two-bedroom cottage, just 53 steps from campus. Applebee's, there's no place like the neighborhood. Academy Bus, we know the way. 80 Davis Construction, builders, developers, and contractors. Bailey Group, no matter where you want to go, will help you get there. And B&S Signs, quality signage and service. When it comes to signs, we do it all. We'll have a new pitcher. Step aside for the moment and introduce you to the new hurler when we come back. Well, the new pitcher is number 47, the left-hander Gavin Zeller, freshman out of Suwanee, Georgia, 5'11", 185. Zeller making his 8th appearance. He's 2-0 on the season with a 7.16 earned run average. has started 4 games, worked just 16 innings, 16 and a third on the season, giving up 13 hits, 17 runs, 11 walks, and 11 strikeouts. As he comes in with a 2-0 count on Matthew Burke. And pumps in a first pitch strike, a first pitch for him anyway. 2-1 the count. I wonder how it affects a pitcher or a hitter when the change is made mid-count. You don't see a lot. Ground ball to third, into the dirt. Nice scoop at first by Wilkie. 2 gone for the Saints. In the third, it's Bryce Fitzgerald, who walked and scored in the first. Two and 0 as Zeller's missed high on his first couple offerings to Fitzgerald. Fly ball to left center. The center fielder will call for it, and Olds makes the catch. Saints are gone in order in the third, but they lead at 5-0. Top of the fourth inning. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Jaguars. Olds, Lodis, and LaRoche. First, the center fielder, Olds. Stubbs has been very efficient. He's faced 1 over the minimum. Just allowed the 1 hit, a single to Lowren. He's ahead here 0-2. Ground ball back up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base hit. There's Kyle Lodis. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a ball. There's a strike. 1-1 is the count. Saints 15-13, or 15-11, excuse me. They've won the first two games of this series. Augusta 12-14. Augusta is going to make the tournament as the 7 seed. The Saints will be likely the 6 seed, although depending on what Columbus State does and what happens here this afternoon, they could potentially be the 5 seed in the PBC tournament. Lander, the runaway winner of the regular season, 19-5 coming into the weekend, 3 games ahead of Georgia College. Georgia Southwestern in third to start the weekend, then North Georgia, Columbus State, and Flagler. And a strikeout. It's Kyle LaRoche, the catcher. Grounded out his first time. So getting back with a little more investigation here on the potential seeding. Columbus State has won the first 2 games of their series, as has Flagler. Flagler starting the weekend 1 game back of the Cougars. So even if Flagler wins today, Columbus State loses, they will tie, and Columbus State, by virtue of their sweep of the Saints here in St. Augustine, has the tiebreaker. So Saints are locked into that 6th seed. Defensive check swing, or the count runs full. It's a walk, first one issued by Stubbs. There are 2 on here in the Augusta 4th. Mike Morrison's the batter. Strikeout victim in the 2nd. Ground ball foul. No Peach Belt Conference teams represented in the Division II Top 25 poll, the NCWBA poll. I'm sure you're following closely. It's not to say they haven't played top 25 teams, or the Saints haven't played top 25 teams. There's just no PBC teams in the latest poll. St. Leo, early season foe of Flagler, opponent of Flagler, is up to 6th nationally. 34-6 are the Lions. Tampa, another Sunshine State Conference team, is the number 1 team in the land, 37-4 on the year. And if you followed Flagler baseball, PBC baseball this year, I think you'd agree that the conference is down a bit. Other Lander, impressive at the top of the league, 35-11 overall. A better record than several of the teams in the top 25. 2-2 is the count. So Stubbs battling a little more than he has earlier in the game here in the fourth. Check swing foul. Stubbs up to 57 pitches. Line foul. Good at bat for Morrison. Making Stubbs work a bit here in the fourth. Three-two pitch, base hit. And they'll hold the runner at third. The bases are loaded with one out. The batter is Brady Loughran, who has a single today. Now 3 hits in the game for the Jaguars. Right fielder. Close pitch, but it missed. Ball 1. Fly ball for Newland and left. Alds tags, and he'll score. First run of the game for Augusta. Now a 5-1 Flagler lead. Two outs for Jordan Wilkie. Foul tip. Well, if Stubbs could get out of this jam with just giving up the 1 run, I think the Saints would be happy with that result. First inning, he struggled at all. Nice block by Wentworth. The 2-1 ground ball to second. Throw to first is in time. The Jaguars pick up a run on a couple of hits. It's now 5-1 Saints. Zach Thomas leads things off for the Saints here in the home fourth. First pitch, ground ball foul. Thomas with an RBI single his first time up. Fly ball, base hit into left, well placed by Thomas. It'll go as a long single. And the Saints once again have the leadoff batter aboard as they did back in the first and in the second inning. It's Jackson Wentworth, the catcher, who has an RBI base knock himself. And this one's going to fall in. Couple of hits to start the inning for the Saints. Wentworth 2 for 2 on the day, so is Thomas. And back to the top of the order, Trey Newland. Newland has had quite the career here, a .313 career average at Flagler. Coming into the weekend, that is. 168 hits, 122 runs scored, and 74 stolen bases. So that's a foul ball that hit the bat. And Coach Barnett Going to come down and say, was he swinging, I think is the question. Or did he offer at it? Also wants to make sure Newland's okay. The MVP for the Saints this year. Yesterday, Dave Barnett Day here at Drysdale Field. His penultimate regular season game. He's honored for 37 years guiding the Saints. Longtime athletic director during part of that tenure. Oh, it's going to stay a foul ball. 0-2 is the count to Newland. Chop, foul. Popped up and caught by the first baseman. One out for Flagler. It's Mason Gray, who has a couple of hits on the day. So again, looking at the conference standings, and I'm relying on the PBC website, so take it with a grain of salt. Sometimes results don't get posted in a timely manner at the conference website, but it appears they're tracking the games from this weekend and updating the standings. Flagler actually sits in 5th place. I said they were locked into the 6th hole, but right now the conference lists them as the 5 seed, which would put them in the Lander bracket in the postseason, rather than the Georgia College bracket. So they'd be in the 1 seeds bracket versus the 2 seeds bracket. But Flagler was swept by the 2 seed Georgia College, the current 2 seed, Things could change today. What won't change is Lander's the regular season champion. But Flagler took 2 of 3 on the road at Lander. So they have handled Lander, the regular season champs. 2 balls, 2 strikes is the count. Payoff pitch, fouled out of play. Good at bat for Gray. Another foul ball. And a base hit. Will send the runner, and a bobble in left field. It's a base hit for Gray, an RBI, and an error. And Flagler has extended its lead to 6-1. Third hit of the day for Gray. Second RBI. And here's Taylor Clapp. 2 runners in scoring position, just 1 out here in the 4th. Clapp's 1 for 2 today. He scored a run. One and 2 is the count. That one stays high. Clapp lays off. Clapp may have something in his eye. Timeout called.
Can't be able to the grass.
Count runs full. Gavin Zeller pitching in relief of Mason Bernard. Bernard roughed up in the first inning to the tune of 5 Flagler runs. On 6 singles, swing and a miss. Clapp is retired. It's Luke Wellborn. Ground ball knocked down by the shortstop. Great diving play by Lodis to prevent at least another run, if not two, from scoring. But the Saints do pick up a run and extend their lead to 6-1. New pitcher for the Saints is number 33, the left-hander, Isaiah Wellman. He'll face Nolan Turner, Jake Vachon, and Kobe Ayala. First pitch, swinging, ground ball, base hit. There's Jake Vachon. And he swings at the first pitch. Laces one into right field. Wellman greeted rudely by the Jaguars batters here in the fifth. So closes the book on Stubbs. Stubbs went 4 innings, threw 66 pitches, gave up 3 hits, just the 1 run. Struck out 3, walked 1. Told the Saints want to be somewhat conservative with their starters this weekend, looking ahead to the more important postseason tournament. Have their starters fresh. Throw behind the runner. Aggressive by Wentworth. Wellman making his 12th appearance. He has started 7 games, so this guy who can give you some long relief work. 0-2 on the season, 4.03 earned run average. He's walked 19, struck out 14 in 29 innings of work. And sliced into right, another hit. The bases are loaded after 3 consecutive singles to open this 5th inning. Back to the top of the order and Ayala. One ball and 1 strike. Still nobody out here in the 5th. Saints leading it 6-1. Ground ball to Clapp, who goes to first. Thought about coming home. The run scores 6-2. And there's 1 out. There's Kyle Lodice. Two and 0. Lodi's 0 for 2, a flyout and a strikeout. Three and 0. Well, the bases are once again loaded after the walk to Lodi's. It's Kyle LaRoche. LaRoche has been on base once today when he walked back in the fourth. Also grounded out to short in the second. Hard hit foul. Swing and a miss. And there are two gone here in the fifth inning. Here's Mike Morrison, who's 1 for 2.
Congratulations to the Flagler College Women's Lacrosse team on winning the Gulf South Conference title. 21-8 over Alabama. So. No, our conference is
Popped up.
I can always do it.
And Matt Burke makes the play. 6-2 Saints. Donovan Garcia leads off for the Saints in the fifth. It's going to be Garcia, Matthew Burke, and Bryce Fitzgerald due up to face new pitcher. It's Marshall Flowers, a freshman from Waynesboro, Georgia. Big guy, 6'5", 195. Third pitcher of the afternoon for the Jaguars. Flowers making his 12th appearance. He started one game. He's 1-0 on the year. 6.17 earned run average. Worked just 11.2 innings. Given up 11 hits, 8 runs. He's struck out 6 and walked 5. And he's got the count 2-2 to Garcia. Fly ball, center field. Center fielder is playing very shallow and is able to recover to make the catch. So Ald's just daring the Saints to hit it over him, and Garcia nearly did. Here's Matthew Burke. 1 for 2 today. Drove in a couple in the first with a single, came around to score himself. Ground ball right back to Flowers. 2 quickly gone in the Flagler 5th. Well, congratulations to the Flagler women's lacrosse program who have sewn up their second consecutive Gulf South Conference championship with a 21-8 win over Alabama Huntsville. That game just over the wall here in left center as Flagler hosted the Gulf South Conference tournament. The 3rd year of existence and already 2 conference championships for the Flagler women. Two and 1 is the count. Big swing by Fitzgerald. Fly ball, easy for Alds. And the Saints go in order in the 5th. Top of the sixth inning, 6-2 Flagler. Third pitcher of the day for the Saints is in, Eli Roberts. He promptly gets Lowren to pop out. Jordan Wilkie's 0 for 2. Roberts, a freshman from Fleming Island, Clay High School. Not far from St. Augustine. It's another pop-up. Second baseman Thomas calls for it, makes the catch. Quickly 2 gone here in the Augusta sixth. Brings up Nolan Turner, who has a base knock today and a run scored. First pitch strike from Roberts. Roberts making his 8th appearance. He started a couple games, 1-0 on the season. 3.38 earned run average. He's worked 13 1/3 innings, given up 7 hits, 5 runs. He's walked 8, struck out 7. Well, Flagler as a team has both outpitched and outhit its opponents. If you look at the ratios, there's the 2-1. Another pop-up. Matt Burke gives it a look. It's out of play. Flagler's batting average, 281 compared to 267 for their opponents. And Flagler's earned run average at 4.51 to 5.24 for the opponents. It's all added up to a winning record, both overall and in the conference. Nice play by Clapp. And then Matthew Burke able to climb the ladder and get back down on the base. Pretty play both ways. And the Jaguars are gone in order in the 6th. Zach Thomas leads things off. He's 2 for 2 today. Just joining us, Flagler got 5 in the first on 6 singles. Added a run in the fourth and lead at 6-2. Benjamin Stubbs was outstanding as the starter for Flagler, giving up just the 1 run. Pulled him after 4 innings, trying to keep him fresh for the conference tournament. Thomas works the walk. Jackson Wentworth, who's also 2 for 2. The bottom of the order doing some of the heavy lifting here for the Saints in their final regular season game. Saints are 25-22 overall, 15-11 in the conference, and they have secured a spot in the Peach Belt Conference tournament. Just a question of what seed they will be and then where they will be headed. The 1 and 2 seeds host, and that's out of reach for Flagler. And looks like we'll have a pitching change. We'll step aside and introduce you to the new pitcher when we return here on the Peach Belt Conference Network. Fourth pitcher of the game for the Jaguars is Griffin Stewart, number 45, a lefty. Facing Jackson Wentworth. Oh, and he hit him with the first pitch. That's the first 2 Saints have reached, although painfully in the case of Wentworth. Back to the top of the order, Trey Newland, the MVP on the season for the Saints. Congratulations, Trey. It's been a pleasure watching you these last 3 seasons after transferring in from Prince George's Community College. Lots of athleticism, excitement on the base paths, great defense, played center. His first 2 seasons moved over to left. Make room for Bryce Fitzgerald in the outfield. Saints have an incredibly athletic outfield. Good defense overall. Newland's 1 for 3. Kick-started that rally in the first with a single, a stolen base. Came around to score the first run of the game. Pitcher Stewart is making his 6th appearance on the year. He has an 8.31 earned run average. Just worked 4 1/3 innings. Given up 4 runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. 2 on the count to Newland, now 3-1. Strike, and we have a full count. The payoff is way outside. If there were a mascot, it may have hit him. That's John Jordan in the background providing the comic relief. If you're of a certain age, you may recognize the reference to Bull Durham.
Isn't that sad we're dating ourselves now?
Here's Mason Gray. Oof. Stewart having a bit of trouble with his control. He hit Wentworth with his first pitch. Walked Newland on a pitch that was about 5 feet off the plate. And now he's behind 2-0 to Mason Gray. No place to put him, and now we may even have a pitching change again mid-count. Chance to thank some of the sponsors of Flagler Athletics, including Vested Metals. We are a customer-centric and solution-based metal supplier, and that is it for Stewart, who lasted 2 batters plus. We'll step aside and introduce you to the 5th pitcher of the day for the Jaguars coming up. Logan Howell is the fifth pitcher of the day, third of the inning, and he throws it into center field. And the seventh run comes across for Flagler. Well, his first throw of the game was not to home, but to second. Threw it into center field and allows the run to come in.
Give him 3 more pitches.
The Jaguars have made 2 pitching changes mid-count. And it's a 4-pitch across 2 pitchers walk. Third walk of the inning. And here's Taylor Clapp, who's 1 for 3 with a single and a run. Corner infielders are playing inside the bag, and this one hard hit to left, foul. Taylor Clapp looking for his second hit of the day. And this one scoots by the catcher, not far enough to allow Wentworth to score. Augusta pitcher's having some issues here in the 6th. It's not just one guy. Howell making his 15th appearance. He's started a couple games. 1-3 record with a 7.15 earned run average. Flagler looking for the sweep of the series. Right back up the middle, almost took Howell's head off. Wentworth scores. Newland will score. And it's 9-2. Taylor Clapp with a second hit of the game, and he drives in a couple runs, extending this Flagler lead to 7 runs. It's Luke Wellborn. Luke laid down a perfect sacrifice bunt in the first. And now a base hit. His first of the game. They're going to send the Speedy Gray without a throw. It's 10-2. A Wellborn comes through. So here's Donovan Garcia. Let's hope the senior can pick up his first hit of the afternoon. Well, the seniors really getting it done today, and the seniors in the lineup as you would expect from a tradition-minded coach like Dave Barnett, including Wellborn, who just had that latest hit. Wellborn with 71 hits coming into the weekend, 15 doubles, 244 average here in St. Augustine. And here's another of the seniors, Garcia, looking to keep it going. Still nobody out. Timeout called. Garcia has something in his eye. And this one into the gap in right center. It's going to get down for a base hit. And they'll hold the runner at third. So Clapp went down as he put the brakes on at third. And the bases are loaded. And Garcia picked up the hit, his first of the day. And are we in for another pitching change? Yes, we are. I'll tell you who the new pitcher is, the latest pitcher coming up next. The sixth pitcher of the day, fourth of the inning, is Grant Jones, number 37, a right-hander. Jones making his 11th appearance. He's 2-1 with a 6.52 earned run average. And comes in with the bases full of Saints. Leaves one upstairs, ball one. Matthew Burke is the batter. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of RBIs on senior day. What a day it's been so far for the Saints. 10-2. 10 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. Augusta 2 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. And a hard hit ball, base hit. This will score at least one more run. They'll send the runner from second. And a throw is cut off, and that makes it 12-2 as Wellborn and Clapp score. Two more RBIs for Matthew Burke. That's 4 runs driven in for the senior. Here's Bryce Fitzgerald, still looking for his first hit. Lifts one into right field. Garcia tags and moves up to third, and that's the first out of the inning. We've had 4 Augusta pitchers manage 1 out. Here's Griffin Garcia batting for Zach Thomas. So senior replacing senior. And he's got his twin brother down at third. Chance to drive him in. Griffin Garcia, only 26 at-bats on the season. He has 8 hits, hitting .308. Has 1 run batted in. Now, the Saints have batted around here in the 6th. They did it in the 1st as well. It's been an awesome day for Saints baseball. Both the results on the field, the weather as well. It's mid-70s and breezy. Not much humidity. 1-2 after the foul ball.
Changes.
Here's the 1-2. Stays up and out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. This one skips away, and Donovan Garcia does score to make it 13-2. The count is full to Griffin Garcia. And he works a walk. So Jackson Wentworth will bat for the 2nd time in the inning. He was hit by a pitch up around the head or neck area. Seems like about an hour ago. Ball 1. Did the same thing here too. 2-0. Wentworth, 2 for 2. He's been on all 3 times today. He's driven in a run. He scored a run. Line right at the second baseman, and it's going to be a double play to end the inning. The Saints pick up 7 and lead it 13-2. Top of the 7th. 4th pitcher of the day is another of the seniors. And why not? Anthony Nofi, number 24. Lefty, 5'9", 170 out of Hanover, Massachusetts. Nofi has had a good senior season. He's making his 13th appearance. 3.68 earned run average. He's worked just 7 1/3 innings. Allows 6 hits, 3 runs. Walk 4, struck out 6. Facing 9-1-2 for the Jaguars. First up, Jake Vachon. Now if he pumps in a strike, he's got a cheering section right in front of us here who are stoked to see the senior get in the last regular season game. Ground ball to Mason Gray. 1 away. Kobe Ayala is up next. He's 1 for 3. And they're going to pull Nofi. Chance for him to walk off to a standing ovation from the home crowd. Pretty special moment here on Senior Day. And we'll allow you to take in the moment. Classy move by Dave Barnett to bring Nofi in here in the 7th, which, as things stand right now, would be our last inning as the mercy rule applies, unless Augusta gets a couple of runs. And Brad Vondruska, another of the seniors, gets in. Brad Vondruska started as a two-way player and now concentrates on his pitching, making his 15th appearance. A 3-1 record, 4.32 earned run average. He's worked 16 2/3 innings, given up 10 hits, 10 runs, struck out 14, walked 9. So he'll face Kobe Ayala.
Well, that might be the last pitch Anthony throws. You have a point, sir. You have a point.
And I'm just going to say this out loud, and John, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe all 10 seniors have played today. One and two the count, Ayala. And this should be the second out of the inning. Fly ball into right. And the Jaguars are down to their last out. So I know John's dealing with scorekeeping and all those SID type things, but John Jordan, that's, I believe, all 10 seniors have played today. Yes, just confirming. And congratulations to all the seniors on closing out their regular season Flagler career. Still some postseason play ahead. Let's go down the list. Donovan Garcia, Griffin Garcia, Matthew Burke, Brad Vondruska, who's on the mound right now, Taylor Clapp, 1 ball, 1 strike, Zach Thomas, Anthony Nofi, Jackson Wentworth, Luke Wellborn, and Trey Newland, the 10 seniors, all getting into the game. A blowout, 13-2 as it stands. Lifted into short center field, and that will do it. Saints win it 13-2 on senior day. They improved to 26-22 on the season, 16-11 in the PBC. Augusta drops to 23-25, 12-15 in the league, and now we'll await the brackets for the PBC tournament. The Saints could be as high as 4th. It could be as low as 6th, and they close it out on senior day, final 13-2. For Sammy Jennison and John Jordan, I'm Dave Wenda. Thanks everyone for watching here on the Peach Belt Conference Network.